wake up, it's time to be free. Wake up, was blind, now I see. Wake up, it's time to be me. Wake up, my mind is the key.
Wake up, it's time to be me. Wake up, my mind is the key.
Hey everyone, it's Jullien Gordon here, and welcome to another episode of Daily Jules, where I drop nuggets of wisdom to help you achieve more and more degrees of freedom. It doesn't matter what kind of college degrees you have, the only degree that matters is your degree of freedom. It doesn't matter how much money you make, the only thing that matters is how you actually make money. We've been duped and indebted to the education system, which did not teach us how to be free whatsoever and actually bound us more than anything. And the purpose of the freedomschool.com is to really teach you how to have more freedom in your life. And so today we got a great question from Auda, and she asked, how do you handle transition or change? Great question. How do you handle transition? It's a great question. I think we're always in a state of transition. I don't think we ever really feel like there, and so I would love to share some insight on this. And so the way I like to think about change and transition is I feel, well, first and foremost, I feel like change is something that happens to you and you're like, oh, I have to respond. Whereas transition, I feel like you are being proactive and you are initiating the change, right? And I like to always be in a space where I'm initiating the change, not waiting for change to happen to me. And so I like to be very proactive. But anytime I'm transitioning, whether you're transitioning jobs, whether you're transitioning cities, whether you're transitioning industries, transitioning careers, transitioning relationships, there's a process that on some 4 questions that I want to share with you that I think will be helpful to any transition that you have. So the way I like to think about it, I love metaphors, and the way I like to think about it is thinking about moving a house, right? Moving from, let's say you're moving from an apartment, you live here with somebody else, and now you're moving to your home. But you know, I don't buy into single family homes. Perhaps you're moving into your duplex, right? And you own the whole thing and you're renting out one side. Okay, so let's say you're transitioning. The way I think about transition, the first question is, the easiest one is, what is directly transferable? They call in business or in a career, they say, what are your transferable skills, right? So let's say I'm going from nursing to real estate. One of my transferable skills, if I'm going from nursing to real estate, is my relationship building skills, my rapport building skills, right? So that's directly transferable. That's actually going to be very beneficial to my new real estate business, right? So that's the first thing, is what's transferable. Then the next question you have to ask yourself, right? And so back to the house metaphor, this is, what pieces of furniture do I have which are directly transferable into our new place, right? Our bed fits perfectly into this room. Our couch is going to go nicely in this room. That's directly transferable. You don't have to do anything else except for pack it and take it over to the next space, okay? The next question I like to say is, what can be repurposed? What can be repurposed, right? So you may have an armoire that no longer can serve the same purpose that it served in your apartment, but it may actually go in the living room instead of the bedroom here, right? Because this bedroom doesn't have space, or it just doesn't fit with the paint or something like that. So you're actually going to repurpose this piece of furniture, right? So there may be a skill set that you have from nursing, which is documentation or something like that, and you're switching over into real estate, and that you're not going to be documenting the same things around health, but you need to document when you're dealing with mortgages and things of that nature. There's all kinds of documentation. It's going to be completely different. You're going to have to learn the different types of documents that go into buying a home, the contracts and things of that nature, but the deeds and all that. But you'll still be doing documenting. So documenting can be repurposed, right? You're doing it as a nurse, and you'll do it as real estate, but it'll be different types of documents. So there will be a learning curve there. Okay. So that's the second question. So again, that's like the armoire, which no longer fits in your bedroom and now may go in the living room or the foyer, right? The next question is, what do I leave behind? So this is the furniture that you're like, no, we're not taking that with us. It doesn't fit into this new space whatsoever. We're actually just going to put that on the curb for the garbage man to come get it. Right? This is just what I completely leave behind. Like, a nurse is going to leave behind putting needles inside of people, right? Drawing blood. That's not going to be transferable or valuable in terms of real estate whatsoever, unless you're trying to draw blood from the seller so that they don't take all the money from your client, right? But usually the real estate agent wants the price to be up so that they can get a bigger commission. So too many metaphors. Okay? So this is just like the stuff that you're going to leave behind. We don't want to take this to our new place, right? And we're going to leave this on the curb, right? So whenever you're in transition, you can think about, what am I just going to leave behind? I don't need to carry with me. Yeah, I've developed it for 2 decades, but it's no longer going to serve me in this new place, right? And now that you've taken what's transferable, you've repurposed things, and you've left stuff behind, now there's space. Now there's space. If the two spaces were equivalent, or the space that you're moving into is bigger, then you ask, what do I now need? What do I now need? Okay? So what do I now need is now we need a dining table. We didn't have a dining table. We had a bar in this apartment that we ate at, or a little nook, and now we need a brand new dining table to fit our new dining room, right? And the set, right? We had washer and dryer downstairs in the basement. Now we need a washer and dryer, right? So a nurse may say, now I didn't have a strong math skills when I was a nurse, but I actually need those things now. I didn't have strong negotiation skills with the nurse. I had to just accept what the patient said or what the doctor said, but now I need some negotiation skills. So this is a skill set that I now need. So this is how I think about transition when you're transitioning from anything. What is transferable? What can be repurposed? What do I leave behind? And what do I now need? Right, in this new space, or in this new space that I'm stepping into. That's how I think about transition, and I think that's the most effective way to make the transfer as smooth as possible. Also, the final ingredient is just being compassionate with yourself. Not expect, I want you to expect a smooth move, but knowing that transition takes time, right? To get settled takes time. Not trying to do everything at once. I know when I used to move apartments, I used to just want to move all in one day and get everything out the boxes and settled in one day, because I like to feel settled. But you don't have to rush, and have compassion for yourself and patience with yourself as you take time to transition. Give yourself a timeline to get things done, and don't rush. Otherwise, you end up just rushing the process, and there's really no rush. You're not racing anybody. So take your time. But these are the 4 questions that I would ask during any transition whatsoever. So I hope that helped, Auda. Again, everybody, this is Jullien Gordon with your Daily Jules. I hope that this helps you get some more degrees of freedom, because freedom oftentimes requires several transitions, step by step, as you level up and up and up and up, and then one day perhaps you'll feel like you arrived. We talked about the point of freedom, where your passive income actually equals or is greater than your cost of living. That's when you know that you've actually got there. So with that, I want to say thank you so much, and I will see you in the next episode of Daily Jules. Peace. I hope these mindsets, metaphors, and methodologies blessed you. If you desire more freedom, go to getfreenow.com to subscribe to the show on iTunes, YouTube, or Facebook, and get 4 of my best courses in the Freedom School for 100% free.